My name is Deborah Jane, and I am 108 years old. I used to take handfuls of pills, yet my vision still faded and my memory deteriorated to the point where I was put into a nursing home at the age of 90. It makes me wonder, is this exactly how the American pharmaceutical industry rakes in $393 billion? I dug up an old notebook my mother left behind 30 years ago. She was a local doctor, deeply appreciated by so many for her healing remedies. In those pages, I discovered the 6 foods that helped restore my vision and allowed me to return to living independently in my own home ever since. I need to tell you something your doctor will never say to your face. Every morning after you turn 60, your eyes are losing a vital protective molecule, not slowly, but rapidly. And by the time you start noticing that blurriness creeping in at the edges of your vision, nearly 40% of that protective layer is already gone. They'll tell you it's permanent, but they are dead wrong. Here is what nobody is telling you. There are 6 common seeds sitting on grocery store shelves right now, seeds you've walked past 100 times without a second thought, that contain the exact compounds your aging eyes are desperately craving. These compounds don't just slow down the damage, they actually begin to reverse it. And the most powerful seed on this list starts working deep inside your eye tissue within 24 hours. At the end of this video, I'll also share my ultimate secret to living a healthy, independent life past 100, a secret no doctor has lived long enough to figure out. Please drop your name and age in the comments below. I would absolutely love to make friends with all of you. Now let's dive right into the details. Seed number 6, raw sunflower seeds with butter and lemon. My mother's notebook had a whole page dedicated to what she called the sun seed. She wrote that farmers in Kentucky used to keep a jar of raw sunflower seeds on the kitchen table, and old-timers who worked outside all day would eat a handful before noon. She noted, again and again, that the men and women who did this seemed to stay sharper longer. Their eyes stayed clearer longer. But here is where most people make a critical mistake. They buy the salted, roasted sunflower seeds in the snack aisle, eat them dry, and get almost none of the benefit. Roasting at high heat degrades a significant portion of the vitamin E content and destroys many of the delicate polyunsaturated fatty acids that are part of what makes these seeds so powerful. The preparation matters enormously. 1 ounce of raw, unsalted sunflower seeds, not roasted, not flavored, raw, lightly crushed or coarsely ground, so the outer shell's compounds are broken down and made more bioavailable. Mix them with half a teaspoon of high-quality grass-fed butter and a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. My mother wrote it plainly, seeds with a little fat and something bright. The body drinks it right up. She didn't know the biochemistry, she just knew it worked. Seed number 5, flax seeds with butter. If sunflower seeds are the shield, flax seeds are the repair crew. They rebuild the structural integrity of retinal cell membranes. They also carry powerful anti-inflammatory lignans, compounds that reduce the chronic low-grade inflammation that accelerates nearly every form of age-related vision loss. The mistake people make, eating whole flax seeds. The outer shell of a flax seed is almost completely impermeable to human digestion. If you eat whole flax seeds, the overwhelming majority pass straight through you undigested. You're getting almost nothing. You must grind them. Freshly ground flax seeds, used within 24 hours of grinding because the volatile fatty acids oxidize quickly once exposed to air, are a completely different food from the whole seed. 1 tablespoon of freshly ground flax seeds, ground that morning, never the night before, stirred into half a teaspoon of soft grass-fed butter. She eats this as part of her morning ritual, sometimes mixed into a small bowl of warm oatmeal, sometimes simply on a piece of whole grain toast. Seed number 4, ground chia seeds with coconut oil. My mother called chia seeds the patient seed. She wrote that they were slow to show their effects, but that the people who committed to them long-term seemed to age differently than those who didn't. They stayed clearer, more balanced, less prone to the foggy, unsteady quality she saw in her other patients of advanced age. The mistake people make, eating chia seeds whole and dry. Like flax, the outer shell significantly limits digestibility and nutrient absorption when seeds are eaten intact. Grinding improves bioavailability. 1 tablespoon of freshly ground chia seeds. She keeps a small batch ground in a sealed glass jar in the refrigerator, using it within 3 days, mixed with 1 teaspoon of cold-pressed unrefined coconut oil. The coconut oil is the fat carrier here. It contains medium-chain triglycerides, which are absorbed differently than long-chain fats, providing rapid energy to brain and eye tissue, while simultaneously acting as a vehicle for the fat-soluble nutrients in the chia seeds. She mixes this into her morning routine, often added to a small smoothie or stirred into a cup of warm water with lemon. Seed number 3, hemp seeds. Hemp seeds are the quiet powerhouse that nobody talks about anymore. They should be talked about far more. Hemp seeds are one of the only plant foods that contain complete protein, meaning they provide all 9 essential amino acids in proportions that the human body can readily use. For older adults, maintaining protein synthesis is critical not just for muscle health, but for the constant repair and replacement of tissue throughout the body, including the delicate cellular structures of the eye. The preparation. Hemp seeds require almost no preparation, which makes them the most accessible of all 6 seeds. Their shells are soft and fully digestible. You do not need to grind them. You do not need to soak them. You can eat them raw, directly from the bag. 2 tablespoons of raw, shelled hemp seeds, eaten as part of her morning breakfast, sprinkled over whatever she's having, or eaten by the spoonful. No cooking, no processing, just the seeds, as nature made them. Mother wrote in the notebook, "Don't fuss with hemp, it knows what to do." Seed number 2, pumpkin seeds. If there is a seed that speaks directly to the health of the aging brain and eye together, it is the pumpkin seed. Pumpkin seeds, pepitas, when hulled, are an exceptional source of zinc, as mentioned in the context of chia seeds, but in significantly higher concentrations. A single 1-ounce serving of pumpkin seeds provides approximately 14% to 20% of the recommended daily value of zinc for adults, depending on individual absorption factors. For someone dealing with age-related vision decline or early-stage macular degeneration, this is clinically significant. The mistake people make, buying roasted, salted pumpkin seeds and consuming them as a snack without fat. High-temperature roasting degrades both the delicate fatty acids and the lutein and zeaxanthin content. Carotenoids, like lutein and zeaxanthin, are fat-soluble, and without dietary fat present during digestion, very little reaches the bloodstream and ultimately the macula. 1 ounce of raw, unsalted, hulled pumpkin seeds, lightly warmed, not roasted. She heats them in a pan for no more than 2 minutes on very low heat, just enough to make them fragrant without degrading the nutrients, then eaten immediately with a small amount of butter or mixed with a drizzle of olive oil. The warmth slightly softens the seed structure, improving how the body breaks down and accesses the nutrients. The fat is essential for carotenoid absorption. This is the seed, she says, made the most noticeable difference in her peripheral vision. The ability to detect movement and light in the outer edges of her visual field that had been fading for years. Seed number 1, sesame seeds. And here we arrive at the seed that sits at the very top of my list. The seed my mother wrote about first and most extensively in the old Kentucky notebook. The one that has been used in traditional medicine systems across Asia, the Middle East, and Africa for thousands of years, not by accident, but because generation after generation of careful human observation confirmed its power. Sesame seeds. The active compounds in sesame seeds that matter most for vision and brain health are the lignans, sesamin and sesamolin, which convert in the body to sesaminol and other powerful antioxidant metabolites. These compounds have demonstrated the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier and the blood-retinal barrier, the highly selective membranes that control what gets into brain and eye tissue. This is rare. Most dietary antioxidants cannot do this efficiently. Sesame lignans can. Once inside these protected tissues, they work in 2 primary ways. First, they directly neutralize oxidative stress at the cellular level, protecting neurons and photoreceptors from damage. Second, and remarkably, they have been shown in peer-reviewed research to inhibit the degradation of vitamin E in the body, meaning that eating sesame seeds alongside vitamin E-rich foods, like sunflower seeds, causes your body to hold on to and use that vitamin E far more effectively than it would otherwise. Sesame seeds are also rich in calcium, iron, magnesium, and B vitamins, nutrients that support the vascular health of the tiny capillaries that feed blood and oxygen to the retina. Poor microvascular health in the eye is a driver of virtually every major form of vision loss. Sesame addresses this at the root. The mistake people make, eating sesame seeds whole on top of a burger bun. Whole sesame seeds, like flax, pass largely undigested. The bioavailability of their nutrients when eaten whole is very low. The preparation that changes everything, tahini, ground sesame paste, is far more bioavailable than whole seeds. Alternatively, lightly toasting sesame seeds and then grinding them immediately before eating releases the oils and breaks down the outer layer that limits absorption. The gentle toasting, never high heat, never browning, actually enhances the antioxidant activity of the lignans without destroying them. 1 tablespoon of raw sesame seeds, lightly toasted in a dry pan for 60 to 90 seconds over low heat until just fragrant, then ground immediately in a small spice grinder or mortar and pestle. She mixes the resulting paste with a small amount of butter and sometimes a touch of raw honey, eating it as part of her morning ritual. My mother wrote sesame every morning and underlined it twice. I didn't understand it then, I do now. The secret gift, the 70% that science almost always forgets. Now, I need to tell you something that took me until the age of 96 to fully understand, and I want you to hear it directly from me. The seeds helped my eyes, but they're not why I'm still here. The 6 seeds, the sunflower, the flax, the chia, the hemp, the pumpkin, the sesame, they account for perhaps 30% of my story. The physical part, the nutrients and antioxidants and fatty acids that rebuilt my retina and nourished my aging brain, 30%. There is a growing body of research published in peer-reviewed journals, confirmed by studies following thousands of people across decades, that reaches a consistent and sobering conclusion. Human health and longevity are approximately 70% determined by mental, emotional, and spiritual factors, and 30% by physical and nutritional ones. 30%. That's the food, the seeds, the exercise. 70% is something else entirely. And I've lived that 70% in a way that almost nobody talks about because it doesn't have a price tag. It doesn't belong to the $393 billion industry. It can't be packaged, marketed, or prescribed. The first element of my 70% is faith, not necessarily religious faith in any institutional sense, though I do have my own quiet faith that I hold close. It is faith in a larger sense, the refusal to believe that my story is over, the decision, made freshly every single morning, that today has meaning, that I am here for a reason, that getting out of bed matters. I get up every morning because I believe someone will need me today, and most days they do. Research on people my age consistently shows that those who maintain a strong sense of purpose, who feel they have something left to do and somewhere to be, have measurably better immune function, slower cognitive decline, and longer lifespans than those who don't. I didn't know that when I started. I just knew that lying in that nursing home bed, believing my story was finished, was making me sicker faster than anything else. The second element is honesty. Over 108 years, I have made a practice of being truthful with others, but more importantly, with myself. I don't pretend things are fine when they are not. I don't swallow resentment or hide grief. I feel what is real, name it plainly, and set it down. I cried plenty during my years at Maplewood. I talked about the people I missed, and I didn't pretend I didn't miss them. And then I made tea. What I've come to understand is that chronic suppression of difficult emotions, the lifelong habit of telling yourself you're fine when you're not, takes a genuine physical toll. It raises cortisol. It feeds inflammation. It ages you from the inside. The people who live longest and stay sharpest are not the ones who never struggled. They're the ones who learn to feel what they feel, say what is true, and release it. I am not always easy to be around. I say what I mean. At 108, I've earned that. The third element is compassion, and I mean compassion toward myself. This is the one that took me the longest. I was never short on compassion for others. I brought soup to my neighbor across the street when her hip was bad. I called my great-grandchildren on their birthdays and asked real questions about their real lives. I looked people in the eye, but turning that same gentleness inward, deciding, sometime in my late 90s, to stop being hard on myself for what I hadn't done or couldn't do anymore, that may have done more for my health than anything I ever ate. Self-compassion, the research says, is associated with lower anxiety, better sleep, lower blood pressure, and greater resilience when facing physical health challenges. I just call it being a decent friend to yourself. It costs nothing. It is available to every single one of you watching this right now, and most of us withhold it from ourselves almost entirely. I wasted decades being harder on myself than I would ever have been on anyone I loved. I don't do that anymore. I recommend you stop sooner than I did. The fourth element is patience. I did not regain my vision overnight. I did not rebuild my independence in a week. It took months of small, slow, almost invisible progress. There were days I couldn't see the difference at all, days when I wondered if I was fooling myself. I stayed anyway. I kept grinding the seeds. I kept reading my mother's notebook. I kept getting up in the morning and doing the same quiet things, trusting that what I couldn't yet see was still happening inside me. Patience in healing is not passive. It is an active daily decision to remain present with a process that has not yet completed itself. Our culture promises results in 24 hours and 3 easy steps. Real healing, the kind that gets you to 108 with your eyes open and your mind clear, does not work that way. It never did. It never will. You have to be willing to stay. The fifth element is helping others, always, even now, even at 108, with my eyesight still imperfect and my gait a little careful, and a body that has carried me through more than a century of living. Even now, my primary direction is outward. I make extra soup. I call the neighbors. I listen to my great-grandchildren's problems without jumping in to fix them. And I'll tell you honestly, that is harder than it sounds. I share my mother's notebook with anyone who asks. I tell my story. Scientists studying longevity at Harvard, at Stanford, through the Blue Zone's research on the world's longest-lived communities, consistently find that people who feel useful live longer. People who feel needed live longer. The biological mechanisms aren't fully mapped yet, but the pattern is undeniable. I stay alive in part by giving myself reasons to, and my reasons almost always have someone else's name on them. The sixth element is knowing that my life, my experience has value, and sharing it. Every life carries knowledge that exists nowhere else in the universe. I know things that no book contains. I have lived through things that no one alive today has seen, and for years, especially during those dark years in the nursing home, I let myself believe that what I carried was no longer useful, that my chapter was written and the book was closed. That belief was wrong, and it was slowly killing me. When I began to speak again, to share what I remembered, what I had learned, what my mother had written in that old notebook, something shifted in me that I still don't have the words for. I stood a little straighter. I thought a little more clearly. I stayed curious. I stayed present. This, I believe, is the deepest current running under everything else. The sense, held and renewed every single day, that a life of 108 years has not been wasted, that it still has something left to offer, that I still have something left to offer. I woke up this morning in my own home. I ground my sesame seeds. I made my tea. I looked out the window at my herb garden, and I could see it. The small green leaves, the morning dew, the world coming into the day. I want to tell you what I wish someone had told me when I was sitting in that chair at Maplewood, fading quietly. It is never too late. Not for the seeds, not for the faith, not for any of it. Start tomorrow morning. Pick one seed, just one, and add it to whatever you're already eating. Keep a simple journal, just a sentence a day about how you feel, what you can see, what you noticed. And while you're at it, ask yourself one honest question every day. Call one person who might need to hear your voice. Do one small thing for someone else, even if it costs you almost nothing. That is the whole protocol, the physical and the 70% that makes the physical possible. The seeds are at your grocery store. The rest is already inside you. If my story moved you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Leave me a comment below. I am told they read everyone to me, and I love hearing from you. And if you have your own story of healing, of starting over late, of a remedy your grandmother kept in a notebook somewhere, please share it. That is exactly the kind of knowledge this community was built on. God bless you. See you in the next one.